Alright, welcome back. Last episode we almost got into the apartment where the smoker was. We had a really high chance but failed. We were talking to the corpse. Gotta figure out how to get that down now. And then we talked to Leo, got into the harbor, and now we're about to talk to Mr. Hefhart, boss man himself. Before you is a walrus of a man seated behind a large desk. He looks up from his work, not the least bit surprised to see you. That lazy eye. Great effort. He straightens himself up in his chair, yet says nothing. He simply stares. Let's get straight to business. There's a dead body in a tree.
Welcome, Mr. Dubois, Mr. Kitsuragi. It's good of you two to stop by. Please, have a seat.
Gestures to the tiny chair opposite to his giant desk. These crappy things.
I'm Everard Clare, head of the Debargeurs Union here in Martinez.
Man relaxes into his chair and continues.
I'd offer you my hand, but unfortunately my health prevents me from getting up. You understand.
He looks extremely comfortable. The tiny folding chair, on the other hand, looks like a torture
You go
device.
ahead, detective.
He nods at you, then the chair. Whatever he has in store for you can't be good, he thinks. I'll do my best. Forget about that. What's with this Dubois stuff? You're getting some seriously bad vibes from this name. Why are you calling me Mr.
Please,
Dubois?
Mr. Dubois, let us converse in a civilized manner as equals. Take a seat, I insist.
It's nothing. Yes, that's probably right. It's nothing. Forget about it. Filter it out. I don't sit. It's my kind of thing.
Very
It's
well,
kind of my
Mr.
thing.
Dubois. I respect a man with strong convictions.
As he nods, his multiple chins move like ocean
I
waves.
too have convictions, one of which is that I will not engage any man who won't face me at eye level. Should you find yourself more amenable in the future, I'd gladly resume our conversation. But until then, I'm afraid I must ask you to leave.
Oh, you're no titan of volition, buddy. He's got you in a fork. Sit down or leave. Take a seat.
Excellent, Mr. Dubois. I can see that you're a reasonable man, and reasonable men can be of great use to one another.
Gives you a sly wink. Try to wink
So
back.
tell me, how can the head of the Debargeurs Union help a representative of the Revachol Citizens Militia today?
Ooh. Oh, God. The chair you're sitting on has got to be the most uncomfortable chair in the world. Oh, and we have good pain threshold, too. We got +1 from our thought. From this one. Damn. Violating your backside. Oh, God.
Oh, by the way, I heard you got a rather rude reception from a certain Lawrence Garte. Some people have no manners, it pains me to say. This should take care of that nonsense.
Points to a giant novelty check on his desk. It's absolutely comically
It
huge.
should be sufficient to cover your expenses for a few days and patch over your differences with the cafeteria manager. Go ahead, take it.
Wow, that's 25 real. That's good money. You need it. Wait, you know Garte?
Yes, I know Lawrence.
I guess his name's
He's
Garte.
a real character. No union man in him. A real piece of work, that boy is.
With a grin, he points to the check again. It's like you're on a game show. At least don't thank him for it. Take the comically large check, but don't
Is
say
there
anything.
anything you'd like to say to me? Or...
No. No, it's cool.
Cool? Wouldn't go that far. I'm sure there are cooler things than delivering a comically oversized novelty check to a cafeteria manager. But, sure, if that's what's cool nowadays. Now, I'd like to set your mind at ease about one other matter. Your lost gun.
Excuse
Let
me?
me assure you, Union people are on it as we speak.
Top
I've got my
men?
best hounds looking for that lost gun. Lost gun.
His slug-like lips move, but all you hear is an echo. Lost gun. Oh, God. The world is swallowed by a black hole of fear. Only two worlds escape its gravitational pull. Lost and gun. do you know about my
I
lost
know
gun?
everything, Harry. Right now, I know that you're worried. Don't be worried. Everything's going to be alright. It's not like you left it loaded. You didn't lose a loaded gun. Local children aren't out there playing with it right now, pointing it into their own mouths. It's in a safe place. I just know it. I have a feeling everything's going to be alright.
It was loaded. There were 2 bullets in it. You always keep at least 2 barrels loaded. The chair is killing you. Didn't say thanks. Took the novelty check. God damn it. No. Don't panic. God, you're sweating. Your knee is jerking. You're about to cry, aren't you? You're about to cry because you lost your gun and those children are going to shoot themselves with it. So what? Men can cry too. You want to cry? God, you're weak. Whatever you do, don't cry. He'll think you're disgusting.
Mr. Dubois, you don't look so good.
Oh no, I don't want to die. What is this Mr. Dubois he keeps repeating? What is he trying to pull here? You need to cool the fuck down.
Mr.
Chill.
Dubois! Mr. Dubois! Harry!
Hey, I knew I was Harry. There are no Harrys. Let your mind go to your safe place.
Mr. Dubois, are you okay? Can I get you a glass of water or something? Are you having some kind of medical emergency?
Maybe you could use your hands somehow in a kind of throwing motion, like you're throwing that Mr. Dubois act right back at him. He's Mr. Dubois. Nah, I'm good as it gets, Mr. Dubois.
Don't be dramatic. I can see your condition isn't terminal.
What an odd demonstration of... Huh? You got me, Harry. I don't even know what. As entertaining as it was, I'm afraid we're wasting our time, and I'm an extremely busy man, as I'm sure you are too.
Okay, enough. We are here to ask you some questions pertaining to a murder investigation.
Quick, here's your window. Get yourself together and ask him questions. Police officer questions. It is about a time to stop It's about time to stop embarrassing yourself. Questions will help you regain some of your lost dignity. Aren't you going to ask me how I got in? Harry, he says gently. Honestly, I'm just relieved you didn't get a hernia, a man your age. I too am surprised by the resilience and athleticism of this tool I've been provided with. Yes, Harry, you are obviously in peak physical condition, and I salute both your initiative and your physical prowess. Very impressive. Very impressive. Anyway, I assure you, I'm a well-informed man. Information reaches me before I even get the chance to request it. Could you help me get a dead body down from a tree? Oh God, I really don't want to ask him about that. I want to talk about the hanging. Told the unions involved in a local drug trade. What? He smacks his forehead, completely flabbergasted. Harry, how could you say that to me? You know I appreciate a joke as much as any jolly fat guy, but I can't take slander. Are you actually investigating this? No, I'm not. Man rubs his temple and closes his eyes in pain. You've hurt me, Harry. Me, a friend. But you know what? I trust you, like I trust all my friends. And I know you'll never talk to me about this again, because you don't want to wound me. So do what you want, and let's change the subject. Thank you for understanding. We'll continue to do what we must. Ooh. You too, Lieutenant. You know, I like you, but you never were my favorite. I'm a Harry guy. Team Harry. Call me Mr. Dubois. Why? Of course, let us dispatch of the formalities. You call me Everett, I'll call you Harry. That's what the hanged corpse called you, Harry. So that's my real name? My God, so it's true. I didn't want to believe it, but you are a fantastic science fiction amnesiac cop, aren't you? What are the odds of that? I think the odds of that are very low. It's true, my memory is a bit hazy. My memory's fine, I'm just testing you. So good to hear that, Harry. Apparently my sources were wrong. However, if you did have spot of memory trouble, I could help you. With my big fat folder. Words flow like a river of honey from his lips. Are you trying to tell me you've gotten hold of some of our documents? Mr. Kitsuragi, would you mind? Me and Harry are talking about his lost identity right now. Don't just jump to the folder. That's not smart. Shows you're on edge. Do some probing first. What is my full name? Harry Dubois. You don't feel like either of these things. You know what your name is. You have a sophisticated name, like that of a count, or a beautiful name. That's not my name. My name is Raphael Cousteau. Fine, Harry. You can even be Harry Raphael Dubois de Cousteau, or whatever you choose to be. Janet covers his face and sighs audibly. Mr. Kitsuragi doesn't seem to be slightly empathetic to your memory loss, Harry. I, however, wish to help you in any way I can. What kind of cop does it say I am? Well, Harry, looks like you like to party hard, and you like disco music. Guess you're a disco cop. Do like me some disco. Harry, sometimes I think we're so similar it frightens me. I too love regular, normal music. He's probably just making a guess based on your recent activity in Martinez. You know anything about my family? You're not a family man. There's not one peep of family in here, unless you think you're a family man. Do you strike yourself as a family man? I think I do. I'd be a wonderful father. Well, yes, I'm sure you're gonna make one little boy or a girl happy, a very happy and proud one day, Harry. Where'd you get that folder? This? My friends in your organization gave it to me, Harry. Find that very suspicious. May I have a look? I'm afraid this is meant for union eyes only, Mr. Kitsuragi. I'm sure you understand. Please continue. Please, we gotta get this. Yes! And we have -1 drama from, I think, our glasses. As you look at the folder, Ever covers it with his hands and pets it. He's hiding it from you. Because it's not a real RCM folder. It's just another one of those brown folders you saw in the file cabinet. It's not an RCM folder. Okay, Harry, you got me. This is a form of the Census Bureau, not the RCM. Those Census Bureau people were absolutely corrupt. You should do something about them. You got the name from the Census Bureau and everything else from your actions here in Martinez. Now I'm actually a very busy man, so is there anything else I can do for you, Harry? A, get wrecked. That means he doesn't really know anything about you. Pity. Mystery of you will have to remain a mystery for the time being. So it says my name's Harry Dubois. Yep, that's what I've said. Try to keep up, okay? Let's move on. I want to talk about the hanging. Of course, that's your main thing. That's why you're in Martinez. I know everything that goes around here, and I would love to discuss it. Secret task complete. I mean, it's no secret that the lynching is connected to the strike. So much to talk about. Honestly, it's been weighing on me heavily. I understand. You need to interview me. Do we have this finished yet? Breakthrough imminent. Okay, so not quite yet. Since there's a but there's a thing that's been keeping me up at night. I want to talk about the hanging. I mean, if we could calmly talk, exchange information, we could blow this thing wide open. Yeah, that sounds good. Let's do that. Yeah, like, right? But I can't think straight with this thing weighing on me. You're police officers, aren't you? I have a crazy idea. You guys are basically door-opening machines. Incredibly talented at opening doors. Is that true? Are we door-opening machines? Not sure I understand. If you're asking us to break down someone's door, it's not going to happen. Come now, I just need you to go open a little door for me and leave it unlocked. Simple thing. Absolutely nothing shady about it. Open it yourself. I'm a very busy man, and more importantly, I don't have that extraordinary physique you do. You look like you could run around all day. You want to send someone a message that the police are working for you? I'm a very busy man, Mr. Kitsuragi. Therefore, I must occasionally enlist outside help. Whose door? No one's. It's just a weasel. A weasel lives there. Nothing for you to worry about. What do you mean, the weasel? Loud blabbering weasel. When weasels feel no one is watching, they start acting foolishly. Just go there, unlock the door, and leave it open. It's been such a burden on me. I just want this to be over so I can discuss business with you. Bet you don't even know anything. Harry, my dear friend, I am what people call a local bigwig. I know everything that goes on. Yeah, we'll accept. Fantastic. Just let me know when it's done and we can take our friendship to the next level. So, you can get the key from Manana. He's down by the gates. Manana's like a free agent in the Union, special operations, hardened socialist, a real free thinker. He'll tell you precisely where the door is. One last thing, Harry. Just open the door. You don't need to go in or anything. I just want the weasel to come home and see it's unlocked. Help me get a dead body down from a tree? Yeah, you might have noticed there's one hanging on a tree behind the hostel cafeteria. Oh my, don't take this question personally, but why would I get involved in this matter? Mr. Clare, the man was hanged with a cargo belt. Steel reinforced cargo belt. It's safe to assume the Union had something to do with the murder. Besides, getting the body down would benefit all of us. It's a stain on the neighborhood. I studied the footprints at the crime scene. Worker boots. I can certainly see how having him up there might start affecting some real estate values. But of course, all joking aside, I am going to help you. Picks up the radio phone, clicks a button. Jean-Luc, my boy, I'm sending 2 police officers down. They have a dead body and a tree problem they need help with. Namely, they need it to be taken down. And Jean, please take it easy with the race science. That's a yes to getting the body down, no to the race science. You can find Jean-Luc down at the gates. He's a big, impressive one. You know, tattoos, muscles, ethnic looking. Can't miss him. Great guy. Talk about my lost gun. Yep, your lost gun. My best men are on it. They're turning every stone, searching every playground, asking kids, grandmas, everyone. Your gun will be found, Harry. Let me assure you of that. It's just a matter of time and effort. Yeah, only way to find it seems to be working with him. Could he really be holding my gun hostage? Who knows? Only one thing is certain. If you work with him, you're going to get it back, and working with him might be the only way to do it. I'll not be blackmailed with this gun business. Harry, I was only trying to be tactful. Lost gun is a dangerous thing. Can't have it around my neighborhood. His tone is suddenly very serious. Kids could be playing gun roulette with it as we speak. Teenage gangs could be arming themselves. Get a hold of yourself. I assure you, we're working on locating the missing gun as well. The lieutenant's concerned about the lost gun and feels that the fact you haven't prioritized looking for it is unfortunate, if inevitable, and doesn't put the RCM in a good light. It looks like we have a friendly gun-finding competition on our hands. What's that container outside your office? There are literally millions of containers in this harbor. I couldn't possibly remember what's in all of them. It was attached to the Holson crane. Harry, you smooth-talking son of a bitch, he says with the fondest of smiles. Time is a precious resource, and I don't have enough of it to count containers with you. Smooth talking. Maybe that's the way to go about opening the container. You should try convincing it. Okay. Met Joyce. That's very nice. I haven't gotten around to her yet. I'm very, very busy, you see. Hope you're getting along. One thing I want to make very clear, Harry, is that this is not some kind of union versus corporation situation. Everyone is just pals. We're all trying to do what's best for Nartinaise. Don't feel like you can't cooperate with her, because you and I are such good friends, and I'm helping you get the nasty body down from the tree, and with finding your lost gun. I'm not a jealous guy. What happened to the previous negotiator? What do you mean? Nothing. I let him go. You made concessions for the company in previous negotiations. Why would you let an ally like that go? He's an old man, Harry. I wanted him to spend more time with his family. God knows how long he's got left. You called him a midget. Harry, I have little people in my organization. I would never call someone a midget. What is this? Honestly, I'm beginning to think you're a midget, Harry. I'm only kidding. You're not a midget. No one is. We're pals. However, Joyce seems to think the union is lowballing her. Joyce said the previous union leader vanished yet. Vanished. Harry, the woman left her casserole in the oven and couldn't make it here in time for the voting. Did I leave my casserole on? Better go home and check. The election can wait. When she got back, the whole thing was over. Wait, there was no mention of a casserole from Joyce. Joyce didn't mention any casserole. Do not fixate on this little matter. Maybe it was a rabbit stew, or a hairdryer, or an iron. The point is, her heart wasn't in it. Mine was. Union she thinks they're lowballing her. Yes, lowballing, of course. This isn't a casino, Harry. Real people live, real livelihoods are at stake here, but everything's a casino for those rich types. His expression makes it clear. This is childish and irresponsible behavior. Why haven't you let her in to see you? If she actually wants to see me, she will find a way. Any good negotiator would, and I just don't have anything to discuss with a bad negotiator. He doesn't want to see her, yeah. Let me assure you of one more thing. It's perfectly okay to share anything we discuss here with this choice. This is complete transparency organization. Well, obviously, I'm a cop. I don't care if you said otherwise. I have no interest in what she is doing, but I myself have nothing to hide. Your business is your business, and I respect your privacy. Just remember, none of this is secret. Tell her about all of it. My brother's picture, my singing swordfish clock. Tell her how overweight I am and how I'm helping you find your lost gun. Tell her about everything. How about... It is rather interesting to tell people things about each other, isn't it? It was nice telling him about her right now. I'm looking into your shady brew. I don't know what that means, Harry. There are so many moving parts in my operation, I can't keep track of them all. You know what? Don't even tell me. Whatever it is, do it. Surprise me. Just one thing. If you can, make it even shadier. He has no idea what you're talking about, and he doesn't care. Let's leave. Wait, he leans, reaches into his drawer and pulls out a plastic card. You need this to get in and out through the gate. Great, wouldn't want to get stuck in here. Here, you're one of us now. A real red and white union man. Take care, Harry. He's kind of an asshole. Derealization. Jamais vu. The opposite of deja vu. Not already seen, but never seen. Everything that should be familiar appears strange and new. Like some half-forgotten day in your childhood. Only now. That's the feeling you've been having. And for who knows how long. You should go and ask Joyce Messier about this, and what world we're in. This is the fundamental question. -1 on encyclopedia, but +1 to all int learning caps. 1 experience for every orb clicked. That's kind of cool. It's our encyclopedia now. 3, it's still really high. Our visual calculus is so freaking high. Okay, let's get out of this dick's freaking world of his little house made of containers. I hate him. Maybe we can talk to Leo again. It's also getting
Oh,
nighttime.
hey, mister. I need to be back to talk with old Leo here. Yes, I did. Yes, I did. It's like Lady Larice said when she opened a bathhouse in the basement of my apartment building. They can only get so far before they're aching to get back. And a lot of folks really did keep coming back.
I have some other questions, if that's not too much trouble. Okay, no, that's it. Damn. Well, we can try convincing this container to open now. Rhetoric? Ugh. Money is all about trust. Encyclopedia, empathy, okay. We do have rhetoric -1. Still 3%. Okay, we're not even gonna attempt that. We need just double 6s to complete that. What if I press on again? No screech of metal when you push the button this time. Only silence as the crane remains. Maybe that increased this thing because the crane is on now. Something dumb like that. No, okay. Knock on the door. Open the door. Alright, still nothing. Notice, in case of a strike, press button behind guard. Oh. This is Jean-Luc, the man he was talking about.
Your body betrays your degeneracy.
Yeah, Measurehead. His body totally betrays his degeneracy.
Excuse me. Size him up first.
Are you admiring my morphophysiology?
Ripple of muscle passes underneath his skin. He lets you look.
It must be frightening to stand in the shadow of this racial pinnacle. Be calm, Sandwich. You are not in danger because you are not a threat to me.
Puff out your chest.
What is this androgynous display of sexual maturity?
He looks down at you, taking stock of your physique. Merely standing up. Oh god, my endurance is low. Merely standing up makes you sweat profusely. Your breathing is erratic. Your own heartbeat in your ears grows frantic, and you feel your blood pressure
Stop
rising.
it! You are embarrassing yourself in front of this woman and your pedomorphic friend. This display of weakness may appeal to older women with a stronger maternal instinct, but it is a liability here on Battlefield Martinez.
Jean-Luc, his body is betraying his degeneracy pretty hard. Maybe you can ask him to leave.
My body does not
You have
betray my
succumbed
degeneracy.
to our rule.
Oh my goodness, excuse me.
You reek of it. An invisible sword of our rule emerges from your throat. You cannot see it, but others can. It is making the woman in my company sick.
Smell your breath. Kim, is it really that bad?
Good.
Oh. It's like a rat crawled into your stomach, got drunk, and drowned. You're right, I'm an alcoholic. Now I just need you to cooperate with me.
No, you don't. You need to get another drink. Occidental Haplogroup B4 is done giving orders around here. The influence of the ham sandwich race is waning.
I am the police, and I need you to comply now.
Jerking motion. Signs of a late-stage neurodegenerative disorder. How far the Occidental Haplogroup has fallen. You were once a noble and powerful race. You gave the world eugenics, electricity, and powerful weapons of war like missiles and aerostatic aircraft. You made great gains in metallurgy, race theory, and statecraft. You dominated lesser cultures, like the deformed Hemians and the inexplicably potato-obsessed Quakers. But now your ascent to the genetic summit has halted. You are obsessed with sadness and with frivolous pop culture. You will be superseded. Isn't that right, baby?
It is, baby, yeah. You know it.
Situation is serious. Your people have probably killed a man.
Enough with this begging. You should leave the stage of history with dignity. by inviting the other races to a great world war.
I thought Everett said no to the race stuff, but yes to helping
Bring
me.
your troops to the Seminite Islands and to Boogie Street, and we will pulverize you. When you are gone, we will build a museum of you. The walls will be lined with bottles of Al Ghul, your beloved beverage. Inside, we will store the odes to homosexuality called art, and your microcephalus colors.
We could try that. Conceptualization's pretty high. And we have +1, so our physical instrument is... Oh, wait. What if we have a pry bar in hand and this? Do I get higher fit?
Your race descent has only worsened since I last saw you.
Stop. What a jerk. Alright.
Your race descent has only worsened since I last saw you. You have really let yourself go.
Isn't Everett the union boss white? Yeah, I'm gonna... Don't be vulgar. White or not has got little to do with this. The race enigma runs much deeper than that. Turns his eyes towards the harbor. Yeah, but you still serve him. How does that factor into your life? Mr. Clare is a man of vision and means. He has the will to confront international capital, something your race, naivistic communists, never did. Also, to serve is noble. It takes discipline. Your petulant individualism has only contributed to your race failure. It is lax and moronic. Communism's pretty cool. Idiotic communism is the single greatest contributor to your race descent. Everywhere around you, the fruits of your failures to challenge the world order, individualism, rock and roll music, sexually transmitted diseases. Above all, rampant multinational finances still reigning large. Tell me, where have you gotten your love of pathetic communism from? Degenerative youth culture? Rock and roll music? Got it from disco, actually. Offshoots of the Seminoles people invented disco while having sex under the influence of cocaine. It is a shame upon my race, but what is done is done. I'm not surprised you enjoy it so much. This has happened to many of the side products of the inevitable culture victory of the Seminoles race. Who are the Seminoles? The South Island race. Haplogroup A4A. We are the rightful masters of the Insular Indian archipelago. We descended from the Aeropagites of ancient Paraconassus and arrived here 4,000 years ago, millennia before you. We are the future. That is all you need to know. So you're born and raised on the islands before you moved to Revachol? I'm a descendant. The narrow streets of Ulaanbaatar are with me in my genetic dreams. I see young Seminoles women walk into the grey mass of Ile de Phantom, waiting on immaculate conception from the Pale. So you did not come from the islands? No, I have heard about it on the radio. So you're not really Seminoles, you're just from Revachol. I'm from Kuran, and no, it's not just in Revachol. The city is central to the Seminoles strategy. Spreading through its trade networks, our culture will dominate the world. You have heard enough about our phylogenetic secrets for today. You have extinction to come to terms with. Think upon it. Let's subscribe. Ask what kind of races are there first. Classification is core to this stuff. Oh god. I'm new to this world. Help me understand its races. I need to know what kind of different races there are. Do you? This is for the thing. What thing? We already got in the harbor. We just want to hear about the races, don't you? You are obviously a liberal Sealite. A polyculturalist. I can see it from your love of microtechnology and your sartorial choices. Do not deny your friend the truth you have denied yourself. There are three categories of race. Type A, the heroic races. Type B, the servile races. And the vile C to F race cauldron of pederasty. Which one do you need education on? Type A. Those are the Semnese, the Arapagite, and the Occidentals, excluding the Mon, of course. The Mon are riddled with eczema to the point where they find it impossible to smile. They are all lactose intolerant, common result of inbreeding. A receding genetic pool has led the Mon on reprehensible street parades in Mon cities like Stad's Canal and Vredefort, wearing wooden clogs on their feet and little green tassels on their hats. Who are they? You know them by the names on the nation states: the Oranges, the Gottwaldians, the Königstenners. The people simply call them Mon, or Mon. The Mon are proof that you can have too much Occidental racial purity. The tassel-centric culture, inbreeding has led to the lactose-intolerant sub-race whom no one can take serious. Colorful tassels are, let's be honest, not a good sartorial choice for this century. Might want to avoid wooden clogs. Who are Type A in your view? The Vespertines and Messenians of Vesper and Messenia. The ancient Meteorans of Meteo by the golden Pisantic Sea. The Surins of Sir Leclef, and even the North Koningsteiners. All have type of race propensities. All have type A race propensities. The other large mondial civilization, the Meske, are too yellow and oleaginous to count as a heroic race. True, they would be violent and expansionist, but they have a glandular problem. Draws his finger across his face. Overproduction of sebum. Sebum is leaking into their brains, making them listen to El Mariachi music and eat toxic minced meat-based food, which in turn only produces more sebum. We're the Semnese and Arapagites. It's proven by the Mon and Mesk, Occidental Type A in retrograde. The Semnese and the Arapagite are on ascent. What's the difference? The Arapagites are sleek, long-headed. The Semnese are powerful, mesomorphic. The former is an immutable progenitor, unchanged since the super isla of Periconasus. Ancient brains rest in their slender skulls. Hey, like my reptilian one? Then he continues. The latter is perfected and adapting. Together they form the Semeno-Arapagite, or Semiopagite, super race. That is all. There are no more Type A races in the world. Nature was not capable of more. Type B. Type B are the unheroic races, amorphous non-competitors of the great race, the Kokjos and the Vakoliers. They're mud-colored people. That's rude. Kokjos of grade, Yugo, Semsk, Shest et al. Are what you would call white officer in a suspect description. Said Kokjos. I've been trained to identify them as white in official descriptions. Yes, to an untrained eye, the Kokyo appear white and pinkish, like a ham sandwich, but look into their eyes and you will see squints full of sage wisdom. They are of an indistinct color, and so is their skin, unhealthy, muddy, and ashen. Pinkness is a racial quality that has been earned through centuries of advanced ballistic warfare and cultural domination that the grade people have undergone for drinking alcohol and smoking the degenerate tobacco herb, and for eating potato. The Kokyo, the countless micronationalities of grade, are all inexplicably assessed with potat. The only thing that they like more is dividing into microscopic ethnostates, like political amoeba. The Vakoliers you mentioned. Revicolians, halfway between Type A and the racial cauldron, too mixed to know right from wrong. You tried your degenerate little revolution, which was the single greatest failure committed by humans in our 82,000 years history on this planet. Is it 82,000 years that have been recorded history? You have very little idea of what's happening. That seems a little off. Pretty sure history hasn't lasted that long. The mysteries of the people on this planet are a tragedy that has played out countless times over, like a fever dream of skin, hair, and bone. Wake up, naive chess piece. Left-wing marauders, not all the people of Revachol. The revolution came to Revachol from Great in Sarath-ridden potato carts. Is literally an illness, prion disease that leaves the parietal and frontal lobe ridden with holes. Soft sponge-like mass of dementia, hallucinations, and paranoia. The revolution is fatal familial insomnia, a hereditary prion condition passed from the Kokyo to the Occidentals, but not sexually. Probably through trade routes and potato acid. Prime component of the potato plant. Okay, sure. And of the type B mediocrity. C to F are a museum of failed chimeric experiments and tragic maladaptations. They are tortured creatures waiting to be put to sleep. Your morbid interest in them worries me. Yeah, let's not get into it. It'd be cruel to entertain ourselves with their deformities. They were... were there any able-bodied races you needed education on? Yeah, now that we've been through all of them, do I understand advanced race theory? You understand nothing. To solve the great race enigma, you have to first ask yourself, what is the race enigma? You have not even worded the mystery, let alone solved it. How do I word the mystery? Ooh. You need to internalize what you have heard here today, then return to me. This clarity does not come instantly. Try to beat him up now. Ever told me to help us get the body down from the tree, so it was. You surmounted the harbor wall in a display of athletic prowess to reach my superior, then had him give me an order. I salute your cunning, and I will remove the body from the tree with my bare hands. You're so noble, Measurehead. But while I am gone, someone must stand guard on the bridge. That someone needs to be you, both of you. What if we don't want to do that? This is an uncomfortable result of not taking it down ourselves. I can live with the compromise. Listen to your little friend. He is wise in his childlike way. His mysterious race may yet prove fierce competition to my heroic haplogroup. Alright, we'll do that. Babe, see that they stay here the whole time. Can I go and beat him up later? The woman's gaze follows Measurehead as she leaves. So you guys are like cops or something? We're just trying to keep things from going to shit. Have you ever thought maybe things should go to shit? I'm Katya, by the way. You hear that? That sound. He's breaking something. Yeah, Jean-Luc must be really tearing it up over there. I wish I could see it. I wish I could also see it. Don't worry, physical stuff like this is really easy for Measurehead. Mental stuff too. He's really spiritual, you know. It's late outside, isn't it? You guys must really like doing what you do, to be out so late. Turns to behold the behemoth appearing around the corner, approaching the gates. The corpse has been removed from the tree. He brushes wooden flakes off his hands. Stand down and congratulate yourself. You have sided with race victory today. Thank you for cooperation. If I were a home sandwich, you are a union man from now on. As you turn, a bright light catches your eye, making you squint. Where's it coming from? From a distant sunset? A stage light? Flash photography? Nowhere in particular? It's just what superstar law officers do. They squint at lights, and they solve shit. Actually, now that I hear superstar and law official in a sentence, they sound weird together. Yeah, that's me. I've been establishing my superstardom hard lately. Yeah, you have. You're a big dick cop. Dick Mullen. Salam rock by. Badass on the edge cop disco cop. Time to recede into a ludicrous fantasy world. Here we go. Camera, lights, action. With a sudden flash, the world freezes around you, and you along with it. In an iconic monochrome solution, black silhouette against a rasterized orange world. It's on. Oh god, I got so many thoughts now. Hey, it's... Who, me? Yes, you. Word on the street is you're ready to start building communism again. How come there's word on the street? You keep saying things like down with the bourgeoisie, eat the rich, sodomize the landowners, impale all people who have more than 25 real in their pocket, literally murder all human beings regardless of their political beliefs, that kind of stuff. Alright, that sounds like me. Funky style, very funky. So tell me, do you have any questions before we fire up the big communism builder, or we get right down to it? Let's start building communism. Oh yeah, get the firing squads and animal wagons ready. Wait, what? Firing squads? You didn't say anything about those. Too late to back out now. You can't make an omelet without breaking a few million eggs. Roll your sleeves up further and breathe the pristine air. Oh god. 3 new thoughts. Some kind of superstar. Mazovian socioeconomics. -2 visual calculus. -2 logic. And -1 drama.
We should think about calling it a day, maybe. The nights are still miserably cold this time of year.
I haven't paid the cafeteria manager for damages yet. You should take care of that then. But I don't have the money. Let's talk to him anyway. An officer of the RCM shouldn't be sleeping in the streets. We'll figure something out. God, we have so many tasks. Oh, and the big guy's gone too. It says green. Greater Revachol Industrial Park. You're still there. Since she's watching us, I don't trust her being around this place still. Man, still sleeping there.
Hello again, sweetie.
Let me just take that bottle out of his hand. That's pretty good.
Can I help you?
Is the trash container out back yours? Mine? No, it belongs to the Whirling in Rags. Thank you for clearing that up. Why do you keep it locked? Why to keep the hobos and drunks out, that's why. And the neighbors too. They put their trash there and they don't pay for the garbage company. I thought as much. Are you the only party with access to the trash container? Well, yes. Seems a little callous, doesn't it? Something stirs in you. Wonder what this feeling is. Prodded him and found out. Doesn't it seem callous to you? Guarding even leftovers from the poor? Callous? What are you? Crass Mazov? Almost all establishments in Revachol keep their trash locked. Whirling in Rags is not special. Crass Mazov was an economist and a historical materialist. He was the leading figure on the great side of the Centennial Revolution, where he headed the 9-day government. Mazov is considered the father of scientific communism. Maybe I am Crass Mazov? What are we talking about? Was this not all about the trash container? No, wait. What if I am Crass Mazov? We should return this theory in the, we should return this theory in at a later time, officer. This here is about the trash container. We need those keys. What, for Mazov? Are you planning to nationalize my trash container? It concerns the case. Please cooperate. Hey. Takes the keys from under the counter and hands them to you. Just bring them back once you're done, please. About the money I owe. Yes, have you got it? Can I pay with this check? Cafeteria manager stares at you baffled. You must be joking, right? Come here, trash everything, and now you try to pay with a novelty check? This isn't a game show. I'm not going to accept it. You owe me cold hard money. I want to see that money in the palm of my hand, every single cent. You can cash it at the local freak near the harbor gates, though it might not be enough to cover it. I was wondering if we could come to some sort of arrangement for tonight. Does that arrangement include you paying me what we already agreed you owe me? Kim is about to say something. Let him. He adjusts his glasses. I understand your predicament as the manager. However, I feel I must remind you that we are here to conduct an important investigation that also affects your business. Forgive me for saying this, but your colleague seems more committed to drinking and... I mean, no offense, it's really nothing personal. I just have to protect the interests of the establishment. I still have my key, you know. Good luck trying to use it. Taps his foot against a metal box. And installed at the back of the counter. Draconian measures. All locks have an electronic component. They have to be unlocked from down here with a master key before your guest key will open the lock. This conversation isn't going anywhere, is it? Not until you bring me the money. Okay, I might have something with my motor carriage we can use when we're done here. I really didn't want to resort to this, the man is thinking. Jesus. Just in one day. 3, 5, 11 tasks completed, and I have another 10, 15, 21, 22.
Yes?
Oh, he was at the... Oh, wait.
Yes?
What is that? Logic. Inside you see a set of steering levers, radio microphone, pull-out toolbox. Yep. I have something here we could sell. Look in the back, in the suspect transport enclosure. Regular people just call it the cage. Look at it. The cage at the back of the motor carriage looks rather uncomfortable. 4 shiny hubcaps are stacked against the seat. Their silver edges sparkle in the dark. I confiscated these 4 a little while back. We can take them to the pawn shop down by the Martinez Canal. What do you mean you confiscated them? A couple weeks ago I stopped a young man for going slower than the speed of traffic. Turns out he was a coalition official's son and high, so he took his spinners? I took them and arrested him for driving under the influence. I would have confiscated them too. They're mesmerizing. That they are. The lieutenant looks at the spinners and sighs. I was going to take them into evidence, but they weren't necessary for conviction. He never asked them back. Did you want to put these spinners on your machine? No, that'd be silly. I don't know why I kept them. It doesn't matter. I wouldn't put them on this MC anyway. Caught with spinners? That'd be outrageous. Outrageously cool. He flashes a smile, barely visible in the dark. I'm sorry you have to sell them because of me. As I said, they're useless anyway. I should have remembered I have these earlier. Thank you. Thank you. The lieutenant nods as you take the spinners. Hey, so we've been monitoring you internally. Do you know, and now we know your Copa type. Oh, there are Copa types? Yes, guess what's yours? Cool cop? No, you're the sorry cop. The cop who's sorriest. Let's make it official, then shall we? Won't the other Copa types be jealous? What? Jealous of the sorry cop? I think they'll be fine. They'll be super fine. It'll be totally okay. You can dual Copa type from sorry Jeez, my Canadian is showing. From sorry to anything. Fucking, they should be sorry. I'm sorry. I'll opt in. Of course you are. It's okay. Let's see if you can get something out of this, like info, or maybe every time you say you're sorry, you can get $1 million bucks. That won't happen. Oof. Rigorous self-critique. So where's the pawn shop? The only place we haven't seen is down here. Ooh. Sewer grate. Gateway to the River of Filth. Helpline to the company that controls the drawbridge. Hot air rises from the sewer. Sour, acidic, and strangely comforting. Fingerless corpse. Is it getting too dark out for me to... Ooh. Waterlock out of control until Wednesday, 7:15. A couple of indicator lights are missing from this control panel. Loose wires dangle from the now vacant holes. In the middle is a lever. Beneath it, a small metal plaque. This panel usually closes the waterlock, turning it into a bridge that lets you cross the canal. But there's a crashed Salmon and Butter sign in the way. Pulling lever probably won't do anything. Pull the lever up. You pull the lever all the way up until the metal clicks against the contact pins. You hear a soft clunk, then nothing happens. Release. A spring brings the lever back to its original position. You still need to close the waterlock to get across the canal. Wasn't there a sign over there saying functionality will be restored on Wednesday? Butter sign down. Crumpled billboard reading Salmon and Butter soaks in the canal. Two ugly lines mar the bright countenance of the blonde boy depicted. The sign billboard has fallen on the waterlock, keeping it open and thus out of order. It's 6 visual calculus. What is Salmon and Butter? Whatever it is, the boy on the billboard seems very happy about it. Yeah, we'll try this. Fuck. Just some tasteless advertising at the bottom of the canal. No use rubbernecking it. Where's pawn shop? Fast cash, faster times. Some kind of machine, antique cash register, bust of a woman, the plaque simply reads day. In the dark, film projector is whirring away. Mostly military wear with a few more eccentric fashions thrown in. Let's leave this stuff for now and just get the money for the hubcaps.
It's not often that I see officers of the RCM in my pawn shop. What can I do for you?
His courtesy is not insincere, but he prefers being alone with his projector, just watching the movement of light across the walls of the shop. Sorry, I feel like I'm interrupting you.
Oh no, not at all. I guess I haven't had many customers lately, RCM or otherwise.
Who are your customers usually?
All kinds of people come through here. Locals, travellers, people looking for a deal, people looking for a keepsake, people who are terminally bored. As you can see, I have a wide selection of goods for everyone to choose from.
Quite the collection. I may have something to add to it. Typical vacuous consumerist objects.
It keeps me entertained.
Oh. He responds, unimpressed with your critique. My electrochemistry is low. Could we drink this? Morale's 2. Do you have to put it in here? Welcome to the pawn shop. Well, hello. Someone seems to have found himself a bottle of alcohol. Here's where the magic happens. Look at the bottle. What a solid can of mass-produced piss water. Well over 10% alcohol in this so-called beer. Pop it open before it gets too warm. Wow, the gods of mass production have made this alcohol container laughably easy to open. A child could have done it. Open the bottle. There's a satisfying pop as the cap comes off, and the hair on the back of your the hair on your back rises like an army at attention. You've been here before. Welcome back, detective. Take a sip. I see that. I'm gonna heal. Find booze and drink it. Good. Golden sun melts down your throat. Its rays filling your nostrils with sunshine. Your stomach melts from it into a happy, gooey mess. So does your mind. All the bad things are melting. You're you again. A real cop. A real detective. Incredibly well done. Bottom right corner. Drink button. Gives 1 to physique. This is good for rolling a white check, but damages your morale. And remember, from the void we came, and the void we must return. Oh. Something popped up for a sec. Oh, there we go. 59 minutes remaining. Oh, okay.
Greetings on this fine night. What brings you here?
It's cool that you're still open. Big city
The pawn shop
vibes.
is always open.
Roy doesn't really sleep. Something I'd like to sell. We'll do this. Yes, we'd like to sell these hubcaps. Roy takes the hubcaps from the lieutenant and inspects them. The spinners appear iridescent in the dancing light of the pawn shop. He marvels at the cobalt shimmer and nods. Yes, these are very, very good. Did you defraud some foreign prince for them? Jump a mess banger? No matter, I'll give you 200. No one was defrauded or jumped, I assure you. Of course, I meant no offense. 200 real for you, officer. Delightful doing business with you. Do come again. Thank you. Here's the 130 real you need for the bill. Do not waste it. The rest goes in his pocket. I have a commemorative pin, but before I sell it, I have some question. Check my pockets. Do these do anything, these postcards? I don't have anything to sell at the moment. I'll try this. Oh, come on. Okay, he definitely is high. Whatever it is, you've probably done it. Many other things besides. You can't cut through the jumble of sensations to get to the answer. Looking at his wares, talking to him, that might give you more clues. By the way, do you happen to have any guns like the ones carried by officers of the Citizens Militia? Someone came here earlier today asking the same question. I promptly sold her the gun you pawned a couple days back. This is a pawn shop, and it did feel as we've met before. Oh god. The lieutenant shifts from one foot to the other. Alert. Is the buyer a policeman too? She didn't seem like a policeman, as she kept referring to herself as a pig, which is odd. Found her interest in the gun a bit obsessive, but I was just happy to get rid of it, and of her. Truth be told, she was terrifying. Alright, so let me get this right. You sold your sidearm, issued by the Citizens Militia, and now a civilian is running around the streets of Martinez with it. I don't like it either. What if she intends to commit a crime and blame it on the militia? Right, and she could cast aspersions on the force. We have to find her. Any idea where I can find them? My apologies, but I have no idea where she was coming from or where she went. Needle in a haystack. There's nothing you can do about it right now. People from Everett Clare's union come to track down that gun? Maybe. Shady-looking guys came in here yesterday, looking like they'd just taken off their Wild Pines overalls. They asked if I have a police weapon to sell. I told them I already sold it. They went their way. It was a trip, but you know, all sorts of people come here asking for all sorts of things. Then it might be true, Everett's claims. Maybe Clay really is tracking down your gun. I sold my gun. You were adamant about getting rid of it, officer. You said you were undeserving of a service weapon of the Revachol militia. And I don't like keeping guns around the shop for long. Off the charts photon emissions. The unhealthy kind. Excuse me? At least now I know how I lost my sidearm. Let's talk about something else. We'll come back to him later as well. Tomorrow. I also didn't check on the corpse after Jean-Luc got it down, which might be a bad thing with Kuno there. But I guess I will leave that till tomorrow. Maybe I should have waited anyway to get it down in the first place. Well, Lena's gone home.
Can I help you?
About the money I owe. I have your money. Glares at you suspiciously. Here it is. Sorry for the trouble. Great. Thank you, officer. That's all I wanted. Payment for services rendered. If you continue to stay here, I just ask that you please pay your nightly bill in advance. Electronic lock to your room has been disabled till 2100 tomorrow. Please pay for each night. 20 real per night. I'll take a room here too. Of course. Always happy to have officers of the RCM as guests. Anything else I can do for you? Oh, that's it. You should pick that fat, juicy cigarette butt from the tray, light it up, and smoke the living shit out of it. The what now? Living shit. Your mesolimbic reward pathway does not mince words. He wants smokes. Am I a smoker? You know what you are? A monster, a murderer, the gnome of Jeroma. You feel like a smoker, especially when you look at that juicy, succulent, seductive cigarette stub, still smoldering deliciously. But she broke it at the filter. I can't smoke that. How very astute of you. This renders it ineffectual. You should look for a whole cigarette, or better yet, an entire pack. Strike that a carton. Make sure they're all healthy and able-bodied, then smoke them all. Is this another task? I'll think about it. Good thinking about yummy cigarettes in your mouth is the next best thing. Make sure you think about juicy sticks of tobacco all the time, though. It doesn't count if it's not all the time. When you're done thinking about them, graduate to getting them. Plus, smoking them gives massive bonuses. I don't believe that. This is the door to the room you redecorated. Good night, Lieutenant.
Just a moment. We should talk about our progress on the investigation. Let's go out to the balcony.
Okay. Air outside is brisk. The lieutenant is silent for a moment. He listens to the traffic hum. Then...
Now then, we should talk about the investigation. But I also feel you're a bit hazy on the RCM. Our role here, our rights, our jurisdiction, basically.
I didn't know you smoked, Kim. I have a cigarette every night when I go over my notes. It's something of a ritual. Oh man, he looks so devastatingly cool with that cigarette. How'd you get so cool, Kim? Light of the cigarette illuminates a fleeting smile. You mean this? This isn't cool. It's an unnecessary trial of will, and unhealthy. Keeping the habit within the parameters he's giving himself takes a lot of focus. It would be easier to simply quit. Yet were he to quit, he would lose the cool factor. This man relishes his cool quite a bit, below it all. Do you have any more? I apologize, but I only brought one with me. I have exactly one cigarette every night while going over my notes. How do you think today went? Well, we inspected the victim's body, so that's good. It was not easily approachable in that state, but we did. I would say our initial inspection was very thorough. We have solid leads. We have solid leads to follow up on. Then you shot him in the chest, which wasn't ideal. We still have to get him down from the tree. Okay, so we haven't even gone over there, so we don't know what it's like. I'm a little out of practice. Being sober also tends to help with precision, but moving on to the interviews. Conducted an interview with Everett Clare. He was practically forthcoming with useful information, however. I'm sure I can get him to tell us more. Claire also helped you, how should I say, remember your name. That's a relief. I don't know how I feel about my name, actually. That's normal. It's best not to give it too much thought. We tried to interview the Wild Pines rep, but she asked us to do something for her first. Fine, so be it. I have a feeling Joyce knows how dangerous the situation really is. We have to get her to talk to us. Above all, today was exhausting. What's with all the running? You run a lot. Is that standard Precinct 41 practice? I have a really good theory about why you're running so fast, son. Just wait until we get up tomorrow. Oh, God. I don't like to waste time, you know. My mind moves fast. The rest has to try and keep up. That's just how we roll in Precinct 41. He nods thoughtfully. It's impressive, especially for a man your age and in those heels. He looks at your snakeskin shoes and smiles. Nice shoes, by the way. I like the green. Goes with the orange. What are our powers exactly? The RCM. They're quite limited, actually. The power officers of the RCM exercise most frequently is imposing fines up to 1,000 real for offenses, in accordance with the interdepartmental schedule. 1,000? Why not more? RCM's primary role is to ensure safety. We're not really supposed to play any part in the economic structure of Revachol. Wouldn't it be easy to abuse? Yes, although indirectly, as citizens can always request records from their local station. Officers of the RCM have been known to take bribes of less than the prescribed fine amount. It undermines trust in the RCM. What else? We can arrest people, of course, but rather than bringing someone indirectly, it's preferable to serve a station call slip. Prevents confusion and overcrowding. Jeez. How can you be sure the arrestee will show up? You can't. Those who don't show up become fugitives, though, and have fewer legal rights when they are eventually caught. It's about power projection. Thus far, they seem to mostly show up. And if they resist, we are permitted to use whatever force we deem necessary, even lethal. Have you ever killed someone? Oh, have I killed anyone? Have you ever killed anyone? Yes. Last time was 4 years ago. He has internalized it well. It's just that, a fact, self-contained past event. Have I killed anyone? That's an improbability, perhaps even impossibility. I don't know if I really want to know. Precinct 41 is known for a higher than average rate of police violence. If I kill someone on duty, you have to supply compelling evidence for why it was necessary to use lethal force. In these cases, your partner is usually your witness. Not a good position to be in, by the way. Internal Affairs handles these cases thoroughly by cross-examining you for inconsistencies. It's hard to cover for anyone, just for the best. It happens to the people we convict. We don't convict. We arrest and send them to the coalition government courts in Quran and La Delta. Prosecution works off their testimonies and records, which is why it's paramount to keep them. Taps the coat pocket where he keeps his notes. Who makes all the rules? Coalition government, and the moral intern more broadly. The RCM was formed by the coalition government to restore order in the international zone after the revolution, so we did. Now we attempt to maintain that order, no more, no less. His gaze is absently fixed on a window below that just went dark. Or perhaps it's better to say we were allowed to form. It's a point of contention whether the citizens of Revachol or the coalition government founded the RCM. It say nothing. Silence, a great comment to such a great conundrum. The Moral Lantern, what is it? Moralist International are the world's largest political organization. You know who they are. They run this place after the revolution failed. I really don't know. That's how bad it is in there. Okay, they're a union of center-left and center-right parties across the rail belt. Our coalition government is just one of its many projects. They also run the ICP, EPIS, most intergovernmental organizations in the world. What do they believe in? They're DeLoreans. They believe they continue the humanist project set forth by Her Innocence Dolores Day 4 centuries ago. Others say they're just technocrats. What's their symbol? Interesting question. It's blue forget-me-not. Their motto is love, compassion, self-discipline. I think you engage what they want you to think of them for that. Something kind and unusual. Something almost self-explanatory. Something ominous. Something a little something even a little feminine, but in a strict manner. Who's Dolores Day? Historic figure? Author of the modern age? You have to look somewhere else for opinions. The subject of humanism is too abstract for me. For you, she is something painful, though it's hard to say why. What do you think of them? The Moral Lantern are a fact. I try not to have opinions on facts until they change, and it doesn't look like it's about to happen. I have an opinion. Do you? Lieutenant arches his eyebrow, then pulls on his cigarette. It's a slim white thing in his fingers. We're stooges, the world, wait, things are bad out there. We need them here, giving us the right to police. We're stooges of the world's biggest bourgeoisie organization, protecting bourgeois rights. No, we're stooges of the world's biggest bourgeois organization, protecting the people of Revachol. That's the hand we were dealt. Without the MI, we would become vigilantes. Actually, vigilantes is okay with me. Then you'll adore Martinez. For many of these people, the Union especially, vigilantes is precisely what we are. Personally, I don't enjoy it much. The lights of the orphan district are reflecting in his glasses. The red and golden orbs of the motorway sliding like pearls on a string from east to west as Revachol commutes back to the suburbs. Tomorrow is Tuesday. Monday is over. Just looking to the night. The dying lights of the city shimmer below, slowly like luminous clouds. They pass on his lenses. The lieutenant looks at him, at his slim cigarette, contemplating the next drag. This soldier is the highlight of the day for me, he thinks. This little stick right here. An aerostatic passes overhead, the whiskers of its floodlight on ground below. Kitsuragi's glasses light up as he looks to the sky, 2 glowing circles. Finally, he pulls on the cigarette and says, "They really don't like us here." And the mouth on that kid Kuno, it's different inland, in Jamrock and the GRIH. Why are they like this? It's our fault for leaving this place to the dogs, to the Union, to the company, not daring to come here more often. It's like I told you, this place is an orphan, fallen between the cracks. And the others? He looks at the dark silhouette of the equestrian monument cutting into the night sky and says, "We run this city. West of the river is RCM land. It's incredibly hard. Human beings are. But we're in control, and it's worth it. The organization works. Our system works. If they didn't, the city would disintegrate. I hope our investigation will improve the situation, at least do some good. Me too. But I wouldn't count on any drastic changes in our lifetimes. Thank you. It's getting cold. Let's go. Bed is cold and not particularly inviting, but it's yours. The sheets look awful. Okay. We're gonna crawl in, and that's gonna be the end of this episode, I think. Oh, maybe not quite yet. The sheets feel at once coarse and clammy against your skin. The bed sags beneath your weight as you stretch out and finally close your eyes. Okay. Oh god, there's a loading screen. What does that mean? And then sleep doesn't come. I thought we were just gonna go straight to the next day. But I want to sleep, obviously. You're in bed with your eyes closed, but it's not happening. Why? Maybe it's the bed's fault? Check the pillow. Synthetic filling has separated into hard lumps. It smells oddly. Check the blanket. Barely covers your toes, stretching over your soft belly. This is your body here, intimate and warm, breathing. Under your thrumming eyelids, you see a dizzying array of colors. You won't get off this carousel quite so easily. Roll over. It's a little better. Colors, senses, and half-formed phrases still live in your mind. Part of you is still trying to solve the case, isn't it? Who killed him? Something to do with, what was it the lieutenant said? Union? And it's gone again. Your thoughts lost between the slowing brain waves. Fall asleep now. Your breathing steadies. A great silence watches over you until your eyelids twitch in your sleep and images start forming. Oh, a dream sequence. Huh. Ew, excuse me? Is this a... Oh. Oh.
Do you remember the scent of your childhood?
Bloated corpse of a drunk. This isn't a corpse of a drunk. This is my reptilian brain. I was born in a hospital where people usually go to die.
You're not kidding anyone, Harry. You don't remember shit. Tell me, do you remember your wife's hand on your face?
Tell me what this is. I'm not answering before you
you know
tell me
who
who you
I
are.
am. I'm the bad day. The one where you ask her, and then later in the streets wandering. It's the worst day of all time, Harry dear. And it's coming. She will hear about it on the phone. Reality will turn into a grotesque nightmare. This will be the last thing you did to her. Tell me, do you remember the love of your life?
Said who?
Do you remember the warmth of her thighs, between her legs and in her mouth?
I was left.
That's right, funky baby. And you just stood there. One hand on the bottle, and the other on your dick. Watching her go. Let it all be dragged away from you. Tell me, where are your friends? Human beings have friends, Harry boy. Where the hell are yours?
I don't want to come back.
They were only cramping your descent into the abyss. Now they're gone. 3 times gone and never coming back. All of it. You failed. You failed me. You failed Elysium.
Elysium, excuse me?
Everything. The Pale and the Isolas on the surface. The outer magnetosphere. Burning, furious truth. 8,000 years of written history. You really dropped the ball, Harry. 4.6 billion people, and you failed every single one of them. You really fucked up.
I've talked to you before.
No, Harry. You were just talking to yourself. That's all you ever do, even in your dreams, and the act is wearing thin. the spots on the disco ball fade around you. You'll be back in those cold snakeskins in no time, sweating up the bed.
Stinky boy.
And, oh god, here comes my limbic system too. I can
You're
come back from this.
back from shit. Thrashing around in that high conductivity state of yours, bumping into things and acting like a clown. Who are you kidding?
Trying to solve this case.
You're trying to what? I can't hear you. This is just a word dream now. Jumbled up garbage. The pictures are gone. The bed rises to meet you. A thin, sleep-like state. More glass than velvet, grinding in your head.
Something is wrong. Sleep shouldn't be this bad. This dry, this unnourishing. There's something wrong with your thoughts. Some kind of new type of hangover.
What? No.
Oh yes, party boy. And it's worse than the one before. Just think of the shit you saw. Here it comes too. So soon already. A silent alarm goes off in your head like clockwork. Barely let you sleep at all. Time to get those clothes on, Harry. Time to go to work in the shit factory.
That's a bit of an oof. Hey, we healed morale though, waking up. Oof. Good going, buddy. What the hell was that? Oh, just a dream. You have ones like this all the time. You feel even worse this morning than you did last night. What the hell's going on with me? I mean, why are you so tired? Too tired and down to even think? It is worrying, isn't it? You can't be a detective like this. Detectives need to be able to think. Why is it happening? It's just that your heart has finally pumped all the speed out of your system, Buster. Time to get some more. You're too weak to say no now. Waking up is the worst part. Maybe somewhere down the line you could decline. I need to get more of it then. Detecting is my life. Of course, Martinez is Speed Central. You just gotta poke around, follow your nose. Oh god. You and Speed will be happy again. You will make her come home. This time it will be different. God, I hate electrochemistry, and it's all because I put these stupid gloves in. I have something else that gives it to me. These pants. Wasn't it? Okay, that's gonna do it for this episode. See you guys soon.